It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Tennessee Titans and the Seattle Seahawks. And it's coming up next.
We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at Lumen Field here in the Soto District of Seattle. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. And able to get this out to the 25. So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. As we take a peek at the Oklahoma State product, their quarterback, Mason Rudolph.
And when Mason Rudolph is on the field, sometimes the scouting reports have to be revised a little bit because often quarterbacks like to throw short to get a rhythm. For Mason Rudolph, he loves the deep fade, and he loves the deep post pattern. Anything over the top, those are his favorite shots downfield, and that's what gets him comfortable.
And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
We'll have to see what kind of looks this defense is going to throw at him as this game moves along, but they're in a zone to start. I do think we'll see plenty of man coverage as we move along, but the first throw of this one, incomplete.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Rudolph off play action. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Rudolph now to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll run. It's Kenneth Walker. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Now it's Smith off the bootleg. And he's got Smith and Jigba. And all the way down to the 10-yard line. It's a big play there for Seattle. 53 yards.
Just a breakdown there defensively. It looked like someone got their wires crossed because no one seemed to pick him up at all. He's running free, and there's not a quarterback in the league who's going to miss that throw. That's a huge play.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Throwing now is Geno. He finds Smith and Jigba in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Seahawks get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now a 7-0 game. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was capped off by a Jackson Smith and Jigba touchdown catch. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Rudolph. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now it's Rudolph. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jaron Reed coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. Can't get away, and he's taken down. And while all of that was going on with a sack, it appears, unfortunately, we have an injured player. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Straight ahead, Walker. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Picked up by Amani Hooker. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. Following the interception, they're set up nicely here, already inside the red zone, knocking on the door, if you will, 1st and 10. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. After the interception, here's Rudolph. He finds his man, Pollard. Call it a gain of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
On 1st and 10, it's Spears. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. They'll try the air now. Here's Rudolph. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big 3rd down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Folks' kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this 3rd drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of the tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's the tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well in that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he'll take this up to the 30, a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Powell out of the shotgun. He completes this to Walker. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
The Seahawks will call on Michael Dixon on 4th down to punt this one away. Here's Jackson. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And it'll be Titan football. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. That's to the tight end, Wiley. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
2nd and 5. Rudolph looking to throw it. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. 2nd down, Pollard again. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
This is 3rd and 1, very likely 4-down territory even if they don't get it, though. On 3rd down, it's Pollard. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
And that's complete to Westbrook-Ikhine. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 yards there for number 15. That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
Rudolph looking to throw. That'll be complete to Okonkwo. And down inside the 15 he goes. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. And the slot man goes in motion left. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Back to throw, Rudolph. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Pollard is not going to get in. In fact, he'll lose a couple of yards back to the 3. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Well, I know a defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited by what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down here.
Spears will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
That's a nice example of good team defense right there. Ball was snapped at the 1-yard line. They knocked them back and caused a loss. But you notice they were trying to find any type of a gap to run through. Wasn't one available, and they stuffed the play right there in the middle of the field.
And it's a Titans touchdown. Tyler Boyd from 4 yards out. And the Titans have taken the lead. Nick Folk for the point after. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's finished off by the touchdown from Tyler Boyd. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. Was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
The play fake, and now here's how to throw it. Rolling, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Credit the sack there to Harold Landry. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Howell. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Back to throw, Howell. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Multiple players getting home, for the 1-yard sack. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. With it is Jackson. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Titans getting set to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
2nd down and 6 now. Pollard gets it off the option. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 43 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Here's Rudolph. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Titans. Calvin Ridley, 60 yards. And the Titans had 6 to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Now Folk for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's Calvin Ridley who finishes it off with a touchdown reception. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Under a minute to go, clock running, and a back-and-forth first quarter of play. Howell, he'll look to throw it. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Harold Landry, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
From the gun on 3rd down, Howell. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down. How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings. For some reason, it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200 plus right now. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. The time is called. Looks like a member of the Titans in some discomfort out there. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. And going right back to Walker. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. After one, 17-7 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. As they've got it as we resume action. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Powell. He lets it fly for Lockett. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 41 yards. And the Seahawks have cut it back within a score.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it ends with a Tyler Lockett touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Out come the Titans now. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They toss it down to Pollard. A nice little juke. And shoving his way inside the 35. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Seahawks 32-yard line. 75 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
Here's Rudolph. That's dumped off to Pollard. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Rudolph. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Rudolph now to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. Option play, here's Pollard. And he will take this one in for a Titans touchdown. Tony Pollard taking it in from 4 yards out as his guys are able to extend their lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
On for the extra point is Folk. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. That time a 6-play drive, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. There's Tyler Lockett and the rest of his Seattle teammates coming out for the next possession. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
3 yards to go on 2nd down, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. Jumbo set. Little bootleg here. Howell. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It's Jeffrey Simmons that time who got in to record the sack. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Throwing here, Howell. Escaping the pressure. And he's going to go down again. Harold Landry able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Titans offense and running back Tony Pollard set to go back to work. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this first half. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And some room to maneuver. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
That turns into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9. Rudolph. And that is caught. It's Ridley. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Now it's Rudolph. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. A big loss there of about 7 yards on 1st and goal, so now it's 2nd down.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Out of the gun, Rudolph. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Here's Nick Folk now on for the field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And the 39-year-old veteran puts it right through, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
After the made field goal, back out is Nick Folk to kick this one off. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. Now Howell. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll try for the first with Walker. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 51 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Off play action. It's Howell. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Back to Walker on first down. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
From the 41, here's 2nd down and 5. He'll get that to Charbonnet. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The Titans offense and Mason Rudolph make their way back out. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
From the gun, here's Rudolph. Open man, Westbrook-Akine. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Rudolph looking to throw it. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Rudolph looking to throw. He finds his man, Pollard. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
But they've certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
In motion right is Ridley. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down and 3. Going to run again here with Pollard. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. Here it's 3rd and 3. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Titans first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. From the 34-yard line, here's a 2nd and 5. Back to throw, Rudolph. And that's complete to Westbrook-Ikhine. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 19. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another first down.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. He'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Reek Woolen. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line.
Partner, there's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, a long drive ends in heartbreak and a melancholy trip back to the drawing board. How you like it when I go a little bit lyrical for you?
Here's Walker to start the drive. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And Howe will throw it. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Howell. Repeated the last play, finding Walker. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
And good yardage there on first down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Now 2nd and 3. Back to throw, Howell. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Howell, he'll look to throw it. Outright to Smith and Jigba. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Howell down to throw it. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
It was a strong first half for running back Tony Pollard. He's already over 100 yards rushing for the game and has a touchdown run as well.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And we will get another look at Seattle's offense. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves. But for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. They'll fake it. Now Smith. He lets it fly for Lockett. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing now is Geno.
He completes this to Walker.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
But we know the guys up front have to protect when it's a pass play, but it's really out wide. Sometimes you're going to swing a tight end or maybe even offensive tackle to get out there, but most of the time it's fellow wide receivers, and they really weren't up to the task there, were they?
Do you like that call on your own side of the field?
I don't mind that call at all, just about anywhere. But the key is you have to have the confidence, and then they have to execute their blocking assignments. Otherwise, you get the end result we just saw there.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession.
It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive.
In motion is Westbrook-Ikhine. He'll get it here on the jet sweep.
And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
From the 33, here's 2nd down at 7.
Now Rudolph. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
Derek Hall in there that time to get him to the turf.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this 3rd quarter.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
Rudolph now to throw.
That is caught.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give them 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Rudolph. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Here's Rudolph. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Boyd. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another 1st down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Now it's Rudolph.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Jet sweep, Boyd with it.
Oh, this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
Give Uchenna Nwosu the credit for the stuff.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not,
well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. Out of the gun, a give to Pollard.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
116 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense is getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
They'll run with Pollard.
And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
the yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Here's Pollard again. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be third and goal now.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Now here's Pollard, and he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. Tony Pollard, his second touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
But just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
It's complete, and he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the two-point conversion to extend this lead. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a third and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run.
On 3rd down, here's Walker.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. On the return, Jackson. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return.
The visitors' offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They have picked up right where they left off in half number one, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that, because so many times you go into the half after playing well, and you kind of relax a little bit. We've got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, that's actually really, really nice to see.
And a pedal to the metal. That's what we're seeing right now. Rudolph. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They run straight ahead here with Pollard, and they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
2 yards to go, 2nd down.
They'll set up a throw.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
7 yards on the quick slant and a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a 1st down.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Pollard, he'll take it up the gut.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
This is 2nd and 8.
Now back to throw.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. They'll drop to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Titans 1st down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. They'll run left with Pollard, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
2nd down and 8. Running right, it's Pollard.
Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rudolph.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on 3rd down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it 1st and goal.
So another third down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Now it's Rudolph off the bootleg. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. From the gun, here's Rudolph. Over the middle, it's complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. Rudolph throwing again. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown.
Nick Westbrook-Akine
From 4 yards out, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it. Pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Now Folk for the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And the result in the end, a Titans touchdown. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. It's caught, Lockett. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Off of play action, here's Smith.
Left side, he finds Smith and Jigba.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's 2nd down. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now Smith. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Chidobe Awuzie there to make the play in coverage.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee you he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Desperation time for Smith on fourth down.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Now to the ground. Here's Walker.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
So from the 26-yard line, here's second down and 7. Sticking with Walker on second down.
Powering forward, breaks a tackle, and he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon, and that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, where was that all game? Or maybe he's just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build on, and a positive comes out of a bad game because those are going to happen from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready to.
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Titans are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. So a good drive with a bad ending, Charles. They move it down the field well. Cannot finish it off, though, as it's intercepted in the end zone.
Deflating, that has got to be the word here because they were sharp in moving it down the field. But sometimes you start thinking like a touchdown is a given, and it doesn't always work out that way as we saw there.
The Titans getting set and ready to go here for their next drive. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead.
After the interception, here's Rudolph. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Derek Hall able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a halt. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Now Geno. That's caught over the middle by Fant. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll run for it with Charbonnet. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Titans, they've got the football back and they've got it in great field position. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer third, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Chigakonkwo, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Titans have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
On for the extra point is Folk. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position and only one play to score it. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up. Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him
and try and cover him before he gets going.
Geno now to throw.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker.
No gain on the screen there. It's second down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
He's got his big tight end, Fant. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now third down and 6 to go.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Here's 3rd and 6.
Smith throwing again. And incomplete. They tried to drop it off, but he couldn't hold on.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They snap it to Smith. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And that will force a turnover on downs. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Now a play fake, and it's Rudolph.
Open man, Westbrook-Akine.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll leave them with 3rd and a full yard to go.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Throw left side complete. That's Boyd. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that'll make it second down. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
That one a first down pickup of 8. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football, because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Credit the sack to Jonathan Hankins.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Here's Nick Folk now on for the field goal. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash.
Folk's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so that you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And last time, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out.
Smith and Jigba with a grab.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 2.
Throwing now is Geno. And he can't hang on to it, and the screen never got started.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Throwing is Smith. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the first down.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Back to throw, Smith. And Walker has it. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
To throw is Smith.
Smith and Jigba hauling it in on the out route.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Smith. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I've thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out.
Quick throw there is incomplete.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go.
This has really just been a lopsided affair. What a performance they put on, and now they get the football back here with a big lead in the fourth quarter. You know, in the past, we might be discussing dinner plans, talking about steak and sushi, whatever the case is, CD. This ball game is pretty much well in the books.
Yeah, we really could have started bringing up dinner a long time ago if we wanted to, partner. And I think a few of the guys out in the field already making plans for the evening.
They go back to Pollard on second down.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
On third down, it's Pollard. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now.
He's been terrific so far. That's pulled in at the 32. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. A shotgun snap for Smith. That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Here's Smith. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Here's Smith. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. Ernest Jones there for the tackle.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
2nd and 9. Going to run again here with Pollard. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Seattle, so long, everybody.